Unpopular opinion, but waste paper is not waste. Most people look at a pile of old newspapers, used cardboard, and scrap paper and see trash. The people running an egg tray machine business look at that same pile and see raw material that pays them every single day. That is exactly what we are breaking down today. An egg tray making machine, a business that takes something people throw away and turns it into a product that every poultry farm, every egg distributor, and every grocery supplier needs in bulk on a consistent basis. An egg tray making machine is a production unit that processes waste paper into molded pulp trays used to hold and transport eggs. The process starts with paper. Old newspapers, cardboard scraps, office paper, anything with fiber in it gets broken down in water to create a pulp mixture. That pulp gets pressed into molds shaped like the egg trays you see every time you open a carton. The trays then go through a drying stage, either air-dried or machine-dried depending on your setup, and come out as finished, stackable, ready-to-sell trays. The machine does the heavy work. Your job is managing the input, overseeing the output, and making sure your buyers get their orders on time. Now let us talk about why the raw material side of this business is one of its strongest advantages. Waste paper is everywhere, and it costs almost nothing. In most cities and towns, you can source it from schools, offices, printing shops, recycling centers, and households. Many of these sources will give it to you for free or sell it at a very low price because they are trying to get rid of it. That means your cost of production per tray stays extremely low compared to the selling price in the market. This is not a business where you are competing on thin margins because your raw material is expensive. You are starting with almost zero input cost on the material side, which means more of what you earn from each sale stays with you. That is a structural advantage that most businesses do not have. The demand side of this business is driven by one simple reality. Eggs are one of the most widely consumed food products in the world. They are produced every day, transported every day, and sold every day. Every single egg that moves from a farm to a market, a supermarket, a restaurant, or a food processing facility needs to be protected during that journey. Egg trays are not optional. They are a requirement in the supply chain. Poultry farms are your primary buyers. Even a medium-sized farm producing a few thousand eggs daily needs a steady supply of trays to keep operations moving. Large farms need them in the tens of thousands every week. These are not one-time buyers. Once you establish a supply relationship with a farm, they are coming back to you on a scheduled, recurring basis because their production never stops. Beyond farms, you have egg distributors, cold storage facilities, supermarket chains, and export packaging companies. All of these businesses sit inside the same supply chain, and all of them have the same need: a reliable source of quality egg trays delivered consistently. Let us walk through how the production actually flows from start to finish. You collect your waste paper and feed it into a pulper with water. The machine breaks the paper down into a smooth pulp slurry. That slurry gets pumped into a forming machine where it is pressed into tray molds under vacuum pressure. The wet trays come out shaped correctly and move into the drying stage. Depending on your setup, you either lay them out on drying racks in an open air area with good sun exposure, or you use a dryer that comes with larger machine packages. Once dry, the trays are stacked, bundled, and ready for delivery. The full cycle from paper to finished tray is not complicated. Once your machine is calibrated and your team understands the process, daily production becomes a routine. Most small to mid-scale machines produce anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 trays per day depending on capacity. As your orders grow, you scale your production time or add capacity. One of the practical advantages of this business is that the product itself is lightweight and stackable. This makes storage and delivery straightforward. You are not dealing with fragile goods or complicated logistics. Trays stack tightly, load efficiently onto a vehicle, and get to your buyer without issues. Now let us be real about who this business is actually suited for. This works well for someone who has access to a consistent source of waste paper in their area. It works for someone near a poultry farming zone where demand for trays is already active. It works for someone who wants a manufacturing business that serves the food industry without the complexity of food safety regulations that come with processing consumable products. Egg trays are packaging, not food, which simplifies your operating requirements. It also works as a community-level business in areas where recycling infrastructure is weak. You are solving two problems at once, reducing paper waste and supplying a product the local economy genuinely needs. That story also helps when you are building relationships with local government, NGOs, or sustainability-focused buyers who want to source from responsible suppliers. The startup investment covers the machine, your initial water and power setup, mold frames, and a drying area. These costs vary based on machine size and your location, but the recurring costs after that are minimal. Water, electricity, and paper collection are your main ongoing expenses, and paper collection can often be structured at little to no cost if you set up a simple collection arrangement with nearby businesses. Here is what this business actually comes down to. Every day, millions of eggs move through supply chains around the world. Every single one of those eggs needs a tray. That demand does not slow down, it does not take a season off, and it does not disappear when trends change. You are not selling something people want. You are selling something the food supply chain cannot operate without. If you are looking for a production business with low raw material costs, consistent bulk buyers, and a product tied to one of the most stable industries on the planet, the egg tray making machine is a serious option worth your full attention. The paper is already out there waiting to be collected. The farms are already looking for a reliable supplier. The only thing missing is someone willing to set up the machine and show up every day.